Song of Sirens. Now there's a lot of good stuff in here that can be used for all manner of things. Warm-ups, diction, it has everything. It also has some lovely part work too, and some speech and lovely lyrical singing. So it literally has a little of everything. So let's just break it down. And around about bar 21, the second part appears, and on the score, on the text, it's marked D-U-M. Now, it doesn't need to be sung as dumb, with a big M sound. It needs to be almost dum 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 and dum 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 sound, not dum 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 dum. You can see it and watch as I'm doing that. It's quite tiring to make that over and over again. So that might be a really good starting point as a little bit of a warm-up, of a vocal warm-up, trying to make those sounds correctly so that when they put back into the song and they're not doing it the wrong way. Dum 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 dum, for example. Dum 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 dum. You can put some body percussion. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, you could have it as a round, all the children doing the same rhythm, so that you're really practicing that sound. Lots and lots of ideas like this you can quickly build into your music curriculum teaching too, like using songs to try and demonstrate rhythm, for example. In this, you could easily think of lots of ways of taking parts of this, putting them into your music lessons. Lots of rhythm work, for example, with percussion instruments, all kinds of things. So it's a good song to use as a basis for lots of multi-topic areas of topic work. Now, the beginning, it says mesmerising. The song, the Sirens were half woman, half bird. And they sang to the sailors to entice them to come a little bit closer to the rocks than they really should have done. And the ships got too close to the rocks, and then they were wrecked, and the Sirens feasted on the sailors. So not a particularly pleasant place to be. And it's in the song, it tells the story of what happened to what the Sirens actually did to try and lure these unsuspecting sailors. And Odysseus, who was tied to the mast, ordered the sailors to put wax in their ears so they couldn't actually hear the sound of the sirens. Now, the Song of the Sirens at the beginning is a really useful warm-up. I would start with that maybe. So if I started with the B flat, I could sing it like this. I would use it on lots of vowels, actually. It would be a good one to use. It's slightly around the lower range of primary voices. Secondary would be fine. Yeah. Lots of leaps in between the notes. If you can play a piano, I would use a piano just to mark that out here. If I ask Hannah to play it for me first and then I sing to it, you'll see how it becomes a little bit easier. So let's do, can we play 2 bars at a time, and then I'll copy. Here we go, here's the first one. Now, notice on that third note, that final note there, there's a dotted minim on the score, the 3 beats, long note. Okay, we've practiced with an we could try it with an R. Let's try it with an R. Ready? Here's Hannah first. And then I can finally move on to an oo. This is just a really useful phrase for general vocal warm-ups that you can use for in any way. An oo, make sure that the lips are nice and tight, really tight sound here. Ooh, rather not an ooh. You can hear it doesn't sound as nice. Ooh. Try try and sing with good supportive breath. So taking the breath, making sure that those tummy muscles are being pulled in nice and tight as the air is being pushed out. If you have to take a breath in the middle, it will make it not as beautiful. So try and sing all of that in one phrase. Now, the tempo of the start of the piece needs to be dictated by the speed of which you're going to sing the dum 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 dum. So maybe, again, as Patrick mentioned in one of the other songs, starting with the shorter phrases and then working out the tempo. Okay, let's go from come closer, and have a look at this there. On the in the teaching notes, there's a little bit of instruction for moving your arms and drawing both arms into the sailors. So I think it says with ropes, pulling them in with both arms. Come closer, come closer. Let's start from come closer. Nice long phrases, long notes. So make sure they've got very good breath. Standing nice and tall, feet a little bit apart, shoulders back, good breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come closer to me. Come closer to me. Nice, easy sounds. There's a lot of breath control that's required for the first part of this song, whether it's long breath or short breath. So again, don't be tempted to think, oh, I'll teach that song in half an hour. It's not easy to teach this one quickly. Moving on, lyrically, in bar 29 on the second page, there are some, if you're looking at the music score itself, and on the actual audio recording, some on of the voice, there's some on the score. There's some dotted lines, which tends to mean don't take a breath there. Having tried it, I think that very young children will really struggle not to take a breath there. So I think we'll just ignore those and put breaths in. So I'll sing those to you, and you can see where I'm putting the breaths in. So from bar 29, it goes like this. Haunting song of sirens, breath, draw you to your death, and so on. Okay, shall we just sing that through together if you're watching this now? And just make sure that you've got your music score like this, that you've just rubbed out, crossed out those little carry phrases there. Here we go, ready, 1 and 2. Haunting song of sirens, draw you to your death. Rocks will crush your vessel, cursed with every breath. Serenading sirens, ensnare the heart and mind. A melody of madness, not from humankind. Yeah, so I really do think that will be so much easier. A lot of the very young children won't manage that. Now, last little section, told you there was a lot in it. Bar 47, ominously, needs to sound like a mythical creature in hushed tones. Who's gonna get ya? Who's gonna get ya? Who's gonna get ya now? And so on. So half spoken and half whispered. So it sounds really ominous and mysterious. You can ask the children to maybe draw these mythical creatures or show what they think these mythical creatures might look like. If I was going to elaborate on this, I might actually try and put lots of these layers together because it would make a nice sound picture. So putting the spoken word in with the ooh and so on, and with the dum dum dum. That would be a really nice piece to work on as a piece of musical composition, taking it from the score. Yeah, and lots of things you can add. If you look at the score, it says ocean drums, which we've got ocean drums and other things you can add to this. So I actually think out of a lot of the pieces, this one you could use as a vocal piece for Songfest. You could take it apart for composition. You can look at all kinds of areas of musicianship in this one, and you could get a good maybe 3-4 weeks of work out of this. So a good piece all round.